I don't think anybody ever gave a fuck about Shawn Spears. you know, I don't think everybody gave a fuck about Ty Dillinger, and I don't think that it's probably never ever gonna cross their minds whether to give it a fuck about Shawn Spears. But not like y'all do that already. I think that was already a classified thought. I feel like when bringing up the notion, anybody can get over, and that's we've seen that in professional wrestling. We've seen that time and time again. Anybody can get over when utilized correctly and with the correct amount of ingredients, or however may so those ingredients may work. That is right for that said wrestler. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what company you're in. It doesn't matter what they're currently, whichever. It can be a story, a character, whatever they're succumbed to. When utilized to the correct thermometer, that person can get over. I said keep in mind to that, because I wish more people, I wish most fans, especially today, I wish they could understand that. I wish more so that they heard that and got it in their minds when thinking about that, because I feel like that's why I like to, when thinking about, when talking about the story driven aspect, the character, angle and everything like that goes around. That's why I like to focus more so focus on that, because that's the person that's gonna make, especially all that revolving around the rest of that wrestler too, that angle, that character, that story. That is what's gonna make or break you. Like, that's what's gonna make or break. That's what's gonna pull in your audience. And so that's gonna stick to said person. I said that can be the one thing. That's gonna be the one thing. Like I said, whatever it may be, that's gonna stick to that person through the rest of their lives. That's gonna have more of a hold on them. They're gonna be able to come back to that, resonate with that. There's a lot that goes into that, and I bring that up. The reason I bring this up, pretty sure y'all saw, or some of you saw that short, but I'm looking at, and I personally, I don't give a fuck. I just, whatever comes my way, of course. We talk wrestling. We're all about professional wrestling, but of course that. But just really being honest about that. But yeah, personally, and just professional, of course, just wrestling wise, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I never gave a fuck. Or Shawn Spears was not on my mind tonight, or whichever. So, Shawn, you have Shawn Spears that just showed up in NXT right now. That just debuted, basically. You could check yourself. He just came back to WWE. And you have to ask yourself, because, when I'm just looking at that, and for the first hit too, looking back at the clip and just visualizing that and just kicking back and so just really having to take that into account. And it's like this guy used to be a major, if not one of the priorities at the time when talking about AEW. Like, this guy used to be a major priority when AEW was first trying to get running up back in 2019. Like, can y'all think about that for a second? And now he's on NXT. Now he's back with WWE in NXT. This guy probably at one point that Tony Khan thought that he had some type of relevant pull. That this guy was probably had some type, when talking, structure of star power, whatever he had, that was the 10th of that, and thought at the time too. somebody like a Shawn Spears that was on fucking NXT at the time. Shawn Spears. And wanted that to be a major player going into AEW for the future. And it's like, being that he is a billionaire and you have all your resources at this, even the people that he's been able to have too. I want to go beyond that too. Yeah, but first, being that he's a billionaire, you have all these resources, bro. You have unlimited resources at your disposal. And choose somebody like fucking Shawn Spears, Ty Dillon, aka, or one of the catering boys. That's Shawn Spears. That's like we bring that because you could there's a much more bigger thing when I can think about that when talking about it was just the head notion is that's been the thing. When talking about guys of course, Bryan, Edge now. Who else? Of course, CM Punk. And as don't even think about that because I don't necessarily have a problem with the fact. I mean, because everybody can do it. It's not like. WWE still have their hometown. They still have their homegrown talent, but of course, it's not like that we have a problem or that it needs to be a problem with that you can take and use talent. But when it comes to your homegrown talent, I mean, just check it. Jade Cargill is being reworked. As soon as she got to WWE in the Performance Center. And this girl was this girl was basically at the top of the food chain back in AEW, running through everybody. They was treating this as far as a female Goldberg. And she's in the Performance Center in WWE now. And it goes to a point where I feel also, we'll talk about homegrown talent. Yeah, it's the guy, Tony Khan, he just doesn't know how to use his own talent or just talent in general. This guy, he has no clue about the deeds about when it comes to or just being anything or just the confines of professional wrestling. He don't even know how to use his own people. MJF. Of course, that ride, not like he's the only one, but it just seems like he was just a background, almost just an overall background player when it came to everybody else. And as far as I think, I feel like being world champion, as far as world champions goes, yeah, and it was pretty much Adam Page. That was probably integral. That's probably the only one that was a big. Or as far as having much a lot of shine as world champion, and that's Adam Page has got to be one of the if not the worst world champions in professional wrestling of all time. And I said as much as how he treated and presented MJF. It's when you look at that, yeah, it's that's because it really is a shame, really is a shame. And it's I've also really, because I'll probably because definitely because we're going to be coming back to this, but that's definitely for sure. And it's how could you? That's another thing that I don't understand. It's how a group of individuals that really, really of course, I get that, but being just, of course, overly ignorant and toxic with it, that you, how can you even, continue to defend or recklessly go out of your way to just override, to overall penis ride a company? How can you continue to defend this with the recent lows that they've had. I don't, at the same time I do, but I can't fathom to get it. I can't. I really can't. And it's like, I've noticed that too. Like, he brings these top talents in. Because I just don't like that. It's with Shawn Spears, of course, with this happening, and then you think about, of course, Mercedes, Sasha Banks, or, Mercedes Moné now, possibly showing up in AEW, like, a matter of weeks from now, as well as, like, rumors of Okada as well coming into AEW. Like, that's it. It's like, you, especially ones like Sasha, like Mercedes Moné, like Sasha, like, you bring in these top talents and you use them to pop a rating, like, as far as, like, you throw just a really just a desperate ass haymaker as far, and let's see if what happens. Maybe the ratings might kick up a little while. It's like, that's all. Like, all that when it comes to the talent. They, it might get a few times on TV, or as far as, like, reaching that, as far as he wanted to reach that goal, and they're never to be seen again. And it's like, that is what he uses them for, to just a cheap pop. And what does it do in the long run? Seriously. It's like, so, man, it continues to get even so more worse. And when you look at a guy too, because as I mentioned, I was about to say, like Cody Rhodes. I said, this is a guy, he probably had some type of level, but not as it is now, where, because of course, and you're gonna know how WWE is gonna utilize a guy like Cody Rhodes. And I'm not gonna lie, being that I have my, like, I don't like Cody Rhodes. I think he's this and that, but he's got to be, like, if not the overall biggest babyface right now, especially, like, not only that WWE has, but in professional wrestling. And it's like, just think about it. Like, I feel like, just think about it. Like, 2 or 3 years ago, back, like, this guy, Cody Rhodes was a mid-carder. Y'all remember that? He was fighting for a TNT, like, he was fighting for, like, in that mid-card division. He was with the TNT Championship and shit like that. The guy couldn't even get over in his own company that he helped build. And he was getting booed every single week. They didn't want him on TV. And it's like, people forget that too. Cody Rhodes was completely irrelevant. He was a non-factor. He was falling off. And it's like, when you get to WWE, and you already know when that fire gets started rampant, and it's like, automatically WWE, just because they completely know how to utilize him. And of course, basically, you had a complete remake over, and it's like, you have where you look at Cody Rhodes now in WWE. Yeah, he's one of the, if not, like, the top baby faces, or the top baby face in WWE right now. Cause WWE knows how to use him. And that's the problem with AEW. And it's like, y'all think this is the start, but this is only the beginning. Like, if Cody was only the beginning of leaving, like, it's just, like I said, it's just another example of, when it comes to AEW, this is what happens. This is exactly what happens when Tony Khan, he gets out of his own way.